So I just got done watching episode 37, number one Sentai Gozyuger, and I found something out prior to going into the episode. Amira, the actress who plays Sumino Gozyu Unicorn, Gozyuger Black, has been removed from the show. She was fired. Her agency fired her, and the reasoning for that was because she got caught underage drinking. In Japan, the age limit is 20, and she's 19. And I believe I read somewhere her birthday is in March, so not those many months away from when she would be legal to drink. Now, it was pretty obvious in the episode. It seemed weird to me, considering the nature of the episode. You wouldn't want your one female character to be in the episode, and the problem is with Gozyuger is usually this show, there's only like 15 episodes left, if it's going to be like 50 episodes or 51 episodes. The shows are usually filmed, they usually got filming done months in advance. I don't know, and so at the end of the episode, there was no preview for the next episode, and I guess there's been like no synopsis, there's been nothing. Her credits, her page on Toei's website for the show has been removed. Her credits have been removed. They basically just snapped her out of existence. And I find that I understand after reading all the information why Toei did what they did. To go into a little bit of detail here, several months ago, I did read some articles that there was a lot of slander going on about her, that she had been sleeping around with some stuntmen, and there was this smear campaign against her to trying to get rid of her or whatever. And I guess it's because, I'm only speculating, but a lot of people have said it's because she's half Filipino, half Japanese. And we're going to read the apology announcement regarding the cast of number one Sentai Gozyuger. This was actually published on November 8th, so I am a day behind all this news because I didn't even know this was going on. And this is on Instagram from Ranger Board, just you guys can see it here on the screen here. Apologies and announcement regarding the cast of Gozyuger. Thank you very much for watching our program, number one Sentai Gozyuger. It has come to light that Mira, and I butcher her last name, who appears in Gozyuger, has engaged in conduct that violates the law prohibiting the consumption of alcohol by persons under the age of 20. We deeply apologize for the great concern and inconvenience caused to our viewers, as well as to the programming sponsors and other related parties. Now, that is where it gets interesting, and this is why I feel like so her agent let her go. They said, you're done. Which is weird, because there has been previous actors and actresses in Super Sentai that have done much worse. And I did a little bit of research. There's been some actors and actresses that have done SA. They have done really, really terrible things, and why their show was going on, and they basically got a slap on the wrist. So that's why, for me, this is a personal opinion, I feel like this is a sense of somebody within the industry didn't like her because she's half Filipino. I don't know if Japanese people are, maybe they're racist towards Filipinos. Maybe there's some beef there. I'm not privy to that information, but it wouldn't surprise me. And so the smear campaign has started, and they basically trying to find a way to get rid of her. They've done that. And the fact that Toei said the programming sponsors, I'm sure the sponsors threatened, you don't get rid of her, we're pulling our sponsors. And I mean, yes, you have the toy sales. But a lot of the upfront costs for these shows come from the sponsors. And if you have no sponsors, and it's unfortunate that, and this is in America too, it happens in America too, that sponsors can control the outcome of a show or someone's career like this. This is just a personal feeling. I feel like, being that she's 19, she's probably undergoing some stress. I know I read something about her having a boyfriend at 15, that she's been approached by a lot of older men, and I don't want to say assaulted, but a lot of controversy has been going around her because of being Japanese Filipino. I just find it really it's messed up. And of course, there's been people out there that have been, boycott Gozyuger. Boycotting this show is not going to solve the problem, because granted, Toei and other parties involved didn't stick up for her. When the tabloids came out and the things came out about her being in affairs and sleeping around with stuntmen on the set and all other kind of like stuff, nobody came out and said, no, she's not doing that. Nobody has defended her. And as of recording this video, her Instagram went private, and TikTok that she had went has been set to private, and usually when an account is set to private, you can't follow it or anything like that. She did post a statement on her Instagram, which I can't see, but maybe it'll be on this page here. I really feel like the sponsors are the really ones the reasoning, because otherwise, if the sponsors hadn't threatened, and I'm just speculating, I'm not saying for truth that the sponsors say if you don't get rid of her, we're pulling out. I'm just saying that the fact that they mentioned the sponsors is an indication to me that they had something to do with the fact that they removed her of the show. Because otherwise, if she's almost 20, like, I can understand if the legal age limit was 21. And we'll get into a couple of things they say in this apology letter announcement. I feel like a fine, like, hey, you messed up. You know, we're going to fine you, you know, whatever, like 100,000 yen or whatever. You know, we're going to fine you. We're going to fine you. We're going to put you on probation. Don't do this again. We're going to put you on a rehabilitation program. Don't do this. Protect your actors and actresses, but it just seems like they didn't care, and it's pretty much probably ruined her career. But let's continue here. This is background. We received a report from her agency regarding her drinking behavior while under the age of 20. Question: why is she having a drinking problem? Why are we not addressing that? Maybe she's having some kind of issues. Maybe she's... find out what's going on. Why are you drinking? What's going on? Oh, whatever the case is. Find out. Okay. Program response. Here's the kicker. We take this situation very seriously. Okay, that's understandable. I mean, you're in about making business. I fully understand that. And in order to ensure strict compliance, we have decided to take the following measures: termination of her performance contract and withdrawal. We have discussed the termination of her performance contract with TV Asia, and we will be withdrawing, and she will be withdrawing from #1 Sentai Gozyuger. So I'm guessing they called her in and were like, "We're gonna have to fire you." I think this just comes down to, again, speculation. Don't take this as like 100% legal, actually happened. But I just feel like they didn't like her, and she was protected. And maybe in Japan, drinking under the age is very serious, and it is termination. You know, maybe her contract stated, you know, like, hey, if you get caught drinking, you're terminated. I mean, I would assume here in the United States, if a 20-year-old who's like 4 or 5 months out from being 21 got caught drinking or doing drugs while filming, look at Charlie Sheen, for God's sakes. There's a good example right there. I'm just saying that there would have been like some kind of lesser consequences than just straight up saying we're firing you and removing you, like you never were part of the show. And then at the bottom here it says preventing the recurrence approach of the program production. Going forward, we will strengthen the cooperation with relative parties to ensure that performers are given thoughtful guidance on social responsibilities and ethical standards, and we will also re-educate all parties involved in program production on compliance awareness in the effort to produce even more reliable programming. We sincerely apologize once again for the situation that has been trusted by our viewers. Again, it just screams that they just wanted to get rid of her. And she got caught doing something. It said her agency. I wouldn't be surprised in like a year or two to come and find out that, oh, she wasn't drinking under the age, that they lied about it. And they said like, well, if you don't do this, we're going to destroy you. But this has destroyed her anyways. And I understand Toei's situation. They have to think about the bottom line, not just of the show, not just everything, but everything they're doing. And if they were to lose a sponsor for Gozyuger, like that could shut down production, and then the show doesn't end. You're not paying people because you don't have the money, and it just causes a whole problem. So I understand that. I don't think Toei did the right thing here. I think maybe suspending her. Like I feel like, okay, look, we're gonna have to suspend you. We're gonna fine you because now we have to write your character out. So we're gonna continue airing the episodes, and then we're gonna go like say episode 39, say episode 40. So you've got 2 weeks. You got 2-3 weeks. We're going to refilm episode 40, and we're going to add a new subplot where you lose your ring, and we're going to do a thing where, like, oh, you lose your memory, but then the ring goes to her sister, or she gets the trade-off. She can give her sister the ring, and then she goes into a coma, and her sister becomes Gozyu Unicorn, and then her sister joins the team. You just go, and you're done for this season, and they just don't ever go back and revisit that we don't go back and revisit it. Like, oh, did she get out of her coma? Like, we'll just never know. I mean, that would be that'd be one kind of like scenario that I just thought of that you could do. But then you're also taking a liberty to say, hey, she messed up. She's leaving the show for personal reasons, and we've complied with her wishes, and so we're unfortunately going to have to write her out of the show. We're going to go on a hiatus for a week so that we can do that, or whatever the case is, so it gives them more time to do the follow-up and story to write her out. But now they just have to, now they're scrambling to cut her out. I don't know. I don't know the ethics behind Japanese culture when it comes to stuff like this. I feel like this is extreme. This is almost, this comes across almost as bad as that whole legal issue with the Mandalorian, which she eventually won, by the way. Yeah, it's super, it sucks because she was the first ever Black Ranger to be a female. I think that this show is gonna be remembered as people are this is gonna go down as one of the worst, I don't want to say one of the worst shows, but one of the shows with the worst controversy that ever happened. And I find it really, really, really bad that this happened so late in the show. Like, we're episode 37. We are going into the last arc. There are probably like 4 or 5 more like character developed episodes. So by episode 40, we should be going 41. We should be going into the final arc, building up the actual real villain of the show. And lines are drawn, and whatever, we lose characters, especially usually the villains we lose. This is just horrible. It's a horrible situation. I hope that her career bounces back. There's very few actresses and actors that I follow on social media, and I wish her the best and hope that I hope that they figure it out. I hope that, I don't know if there's any kind of legal things she can do considering all the slander. To me, it feels like something fishy is going on here, but we have to take this from face value. They take this very seriously. We don't know her contract. She probably, maybe her getting caught drinking violated both her contract with her agency, Japanese law. Like, we just can't ignore that. We can't ignore that she broke the law and she got caught. Maybe she was arrested. Maybe something, we don't know. All we know is the agency is the one who reported it to Toei, and Toei then talked with their sponsors, and they made the decision that they need to fire her. Okay, that's kind of all we know. We don't know. She was dealing with some depression and anxiety, and a lot of that was alluded to her being slandered online and in the tabloids, in Japanese news articles and stuff like that, because she's half Filipino. I don't see a problem with it. I don't know why that would be a problem, but maybe in Japanese culture that is. And it's unfortunate, but I hope that she's okay, and I really hope that she bounces back from this. But it's really unfortunate that Toei they're basically, from the sound of it, they were forced to remove her. And I'm hoping that somebody will reach out to her who can actually do help her. And while she probably won't get put back on the show, it's too late for her to get put back on the show. But hopefully something, as she's compensated for the slander. Hopefully in a couple of years, we'll find out what really happened. Well, this show could have got canceled. They could have just said, boom, we're going to have to cancel the show. And then we're like, boom, what's going to happen? It happens. There's been shows that got canceled. So it sucks. This whole situation sucks. And I wish her the best. Hopefully she will bounce back from this. So yeah, guys, that's all I got for today. Until next time.